We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique the Prima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique the Prima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DePrima. This show is called First Things First. And my very first thing every day is giving thanks and giving praises to the Most High. Giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God. Asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. Ready? This is what we do around here. We stir the pot. Hour one, it's a Talking Point Tuesday, so that means the main mission is to debunk all the BS, right? The stuff we say or others say that we don't know where it came from, or we take a look at it and realize that it does not serve us. Okay, so that's what we do on a Talking Point Tuesday every hour. But hour one, we typically look local, what's going on the left coast side of town. Hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive on a hot topic or a person of interest. We're kind of sort of mostly on that trajectory today. Hour one, right now, it's me, you, Miles, the telephone, the microphone, the computer phone. You can tap in and type in at YouTube at KBLA 1580 with the comments section being quite a party most mornings. Or you can call me at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. That you're invited to do every hour, but right now there's plenty of room for you. We just gonna be talking. In hour two, I'm looking forward to the conversation with attorney Drew E. Pomerantz. He is a member of a group called Patriotic Millionaires. He's actually a board member, and he's a nationally renowned trial and appeals lawyer. So it's going to be quite a different kind of conversation. Patriotic Millionaires is calling out rich people. I want to see what they have to say and what their platform is to, in their words, save America. Then another great topic with Dr. Debbie Almontaser, an internationally recognized educator, speaker, and authority on cross-cultural understanding. How do we bridge the divide in our country in this moment of white nationalism and anti-DEI? She is quite a weighty scholar. Really looking forward to the conversation with her. So it's going to be a good day around here. You ready? Let's do this. You know what else it is? It's Giving Tuesday. And, I just said, what was it, last week? I was clowning, talking about how I don't do this week and that month. And I mean, let me clarify that. I don't do all of them, okay? I do celebrate Black History Month. I, think it's important, especially now when we're being erased, to have that set aside time, since every month is European American History Month in this country, in our schools, in our public discourse. So I think it's important to say, okay, this is Black History Month. Sure. Latino Heritage History Month. Yes. Okay, fine. API History Month. Good. Women's History Month. Good. Anything history is good. I mean, for me. I think it's the foundation of us being less stupid, to be honest with you. But this, International Donut Day and Hot Dog Eating Day, and I tend to not observe them only because most of them I see them as marketing spin, right? Even Black Friday, what is that? It means you spent up all this money on a huge feast, you ate as much as you could, and now we want you to spend up the rest of your money, or money you don't even have, on the illusion of a good deal, which may or may not be a good deal, because a lot of times, they got TVs for $99, but there's only 5 of them, right? By the time you get there, that's long gone. So there's a part of it that's just a scam and a marketing. And plus, right now, we've got these boycotts going on, or the consciousness raising shopping campaigns going on. One is the "We Ain't Buying It," in which I think we're supposed to be not buying anything until Saturday. And then you have the Black Xmas, in which we're supposed to build Black buy Black, Bank Black. So all of these various things, I'm with it. Cyber Monday, we're supposed to go spend all of our money online. Small Business Saturday, that should be every Saturday, because if we don't support small businesses, then we don't support jobs. Small businesses, especially if you are Black or Latino, those are the places that create jobs for us. And those are the places that are going to actually hire us, because they do not have the barriers that some of the big companies, corporations do have. So every Saturday should be Small Business Saturday. That said, I do think Giving Tuesday is a great idea, because we have to have moments where we're consciously conscious. What do I mean by that? Like, I consider myself a progressive. I consider myself a person who is committed to giving back to the community, doing lots of events, going to protests, signing petitions, trying to elevate the voices of people who are doing great things, of which there are so many. But we're all busy. We all got kids and pets and 1, 2, 3, or 4 jobs. We all have to clean the house, keep the lights on, do the paperwork, right? It's just, we're all busy, especially if you're from LA. And I don't mean that to disrespect anyone else, but because it's so expensive to live here, people got jobs and side hustles to the side hustles. So with all that going on, it's easy to forget whether you can give $1, a dime, your time, hundreds of dollars, millions of dollars. It's good to have a day where we focus on that. And that's what Giving Tuesday is. Giving Tuesday, which is today, means after you did some gluttony. Well, maybe you just went within an inch of gluttony, because gluttony technically is a sin, right? So you did slightly sub-gluttony after you went and bought what you were going to buy, or boycotted what you was going to boycott. Today is the day where we give to nonprofits. We give to community-based organizations that have an impact on our lives, that make our communities better. To me, that shouldn't be subject to any boycott. It's not really buying a thing. It's supporting something, right? Whether you decide that you want to give your money to the NAACP or Black Lives Matter Grassroots, just don't give it to the Global Network Foundation. Another show for another day, or you can call me and ask me why at 800-920-1580. But there are so many great community-based organizations. We have PSAs running around the clock here that offer tips on some. You can go give money to Live Your Life, Mama Boo's organization, and help the girls in the community. Live Your Life, LIVEYO, Life. They're on Instagram. Black Lives Matter Grassroots, they're going to need your help right now, because they're under attack from the President of the United States. Also happens to be a 501c3, a nonprofit. And they got all their money stolen from them by the Global Network Foundation, so they need your help. And if you look at what's happening with policing, which we were talking about yesterday, with attorney Brian Dunn, and that was before we got the news, or before I got the news, that the Department of Justice is trying to let the cop out who was convicted in connection with the murder of Breonna Taylor. And this is what the Trump administration is doing, going case by case by case and taking these probably 0.1% of cops, because we know only 1% of cops who kill are even held accountable. We're taking that, and then way less than that are actually convicted. So it's probably more like 0.01% that are convicted, and letting them out of jail or overturning their sentences. It's got to be incredibly painful if you're a justice family. Or you can give to someone like LA Can, which is Community Action Network, which is helping the unhoused. If you don't trust the government to do it, or if you're just constantly complaining about the unhoused, why don't you do something about it? Go to LA Community Action Network. They're also on Instagram. Give them $1, $100, $1 million, whatever you got. I think Giving Tuesday is important. And I think it's important because it reminds us. It's one day. Okay, this is the day I'm going to do it. Instead of going, when I get around to it, I'm going to do this. When I get around to it, I'm going to support the Genesee Center, which helps women who are being battered by domestic violence. When I get around to it, I'm going to support the Community Coalition, which organizes people in South LA to stand up for their own rights and trains youth organizers. When I get around to it, I'm going to support Black Lives Matter grassroots. When I get around to it, I'm going to support LA Students Deserve, who are helping to lobby for the rights and safety of students, public school students in the community where I live. When I get around to it, when we get around to it is today. Okay, it's Giving Tuesday. So whether it's a little or a lot, whether you have nothing, you can still give your time. Let's step up and stand up. I'd love to hear your thoughts on who you are feeling like is worthy of our support in this moment. Our president has said very specifically and intentionally that he will go after nonprofit organizations and take away their nonprofit status, meaning really their ability to raise money based on their ideology. What does that mean? It probably means, if we look at his track record of attacking DEI, of making sure that 300,000 plus black women lose their jobs, it probably means going after nonprofits that support black people, Latino people, women. I mean, you look at the list of words they banned, supposedly. You're not allowed to say woman. You're not allowed to say LGBTQ. So we can pretty much guess what nonprofits they're going after, right? Those are the ones we should be giving to, in my opinion. I'd love to hear yours always. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DePrima, and this right here is KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
KBLA Talk 1580 remembers Robin Ayers on the 1-year anniversary of her passing. 1 year ago this week, we lost a remarkable and vibrant voice. Robin Ayers touched countless lives through her passion, her love, her service, and her smile, which you could see through the radio. KBLA Talk 1580 honors her memory and celebrates the legacy she left behind. Robin, your spirit lives on in every conversation, in every connection, and in every one of us, inspired by your voice. Gone, but never forgotten. KBLA Talk 1580, where voices matter.
I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
With
Civic Tax Relief, they were able to save me upwards of $80,000 that I would have had to pay had I not reached out to them.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies.
I owe the IRS $37,000.
They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS. By the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-404-4999. 800-404-4999. Don't wait. Call now. 800-404-4999. 800-404-4999.
This holiday season, KBLA Talk 1580 wishes you and yours joy, peace, and prosperity. As we celebrate with family and friends, we're already looking forward to an exciting first quarter, packed with must-attend events to kick off the new year just right. In January, join us for our inaugural Brotherhood Brunch, bringing together community leaders, change makers, and everyday people for inspiration and connection. February means it's time for our signature Black History Month luncheon, a powerful celebration you won't want to miss. And in March, Women's History Month, we're once again hosting our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium and Luncheon, addressing the issues that matter most inside our community. From all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, happy holidays. Stay tuned for more details on these incredible upcoming events. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice, your community, your power.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
Let's get back to me. Let's get back to you at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. So, Miles, I know you are big on the AI stuff. You like to experiment with it, fool around with it.
Outside?
Yeah, and you're not the only one. I mean, a lot of people are really saying it's saving them tons of time doing things like resumes or marketing materials for their businesses, things they wouldn't have the money to do. I've seen people with books out where you can tell all of the artwork is done through AI. So, according to the New York Times, and they're citing a couple of studies here, AI and social media are contributing to what they are calling brain rot.
Sure.
Making us dumber, in other words.
Yeah.
Do you worry about that?
I worry about it for our people for sure, because not too many people are going to be able to catch that. And they're just going to fall victim to it, I think. But am I worried about it for me? Not necessarily, no. For you, not necessarily, no.
I mean, you've got a good brain. I'm not laughing because you should be worried about it. I'm laughing because you have a really good brain. But, as we get more chronologically gifted, as Tavis would say, I mean, there's a lot of research that shows you got to do puzzles, read more, learn new things.
Touch grass.
Meditate.
Go get in the ocean. Drink your juices.
Like the things to protect your brain.
Exactly.
Fish oils, right? And if this is having the opposite effect, then shouldn't we be careful?
Yeah, definitely got to be careful. We definitely got to watch out. It's set up like that it's the tool and how people use the tool. And you can tell who them people are based on how the tool, affects you.
Who knows how to use it, right?
Right, Like if it's meant to, because you could also use it to figure out how to heal your brain and how to heal your body and how to, tap in with, holistic ways of using AI.
Even though, to be real, it's wrong a lot of the time. I mean, I was just using AI to check out some things about hip hop because I was writing a little something. And a lot of the answers they gave me were wrong. And I knew they were wrong because I was there. Because that ain't what happened.
That's because you're using it as a search engine as opposed to using it as what it's best to be used for, is something where you program the language for it, you put the information into it, and it kind of it can only if you give it the material to use, it can only use that material. So stop trusting the internet. Fact check and do your back sources anyway. That's why I'm saying you'll know how to use it because you'll see, no, that's not right. That's wrong.
What?
I'm going to go ahead and fix it.
No, that's not right.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff it was saying, I was looking into some of my friends. Nope, that ain't it. But on the other hand, I see what you're saying. You give the prompts, you feed in, garbage in, garbage out. You feed it what you want it to rearrange, arrange, or work with. And that kind of tracks with what this article is talking about. What the study is showing is that they gave people. This is the Wharton School of Business, which is very, reputable. They gave a group a writing assignment, which is share advice with a friend about how to lead a healthier lifestyle. And they let one group use AI to help them, and another group got to use Google search only, like a traditional Google search. Sure. And the last group had to only use their brain. And I think it was interesting that the ones that used AI gave really generic advice. Apparently, the ones that used Google apparently gave the best advice because they were able to use their brain plus the search engine. And the ones that just made it up had maybe less facts. But what I found super interesting was that the only ones that could really remember what the heck they wrote, like 5 minutes later, were the ones that used their own brain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
NI, natural intelligence, plus AI, artificial intelligence, equals EI, enhanced intelligence. You have to put yourself into it and your own natural mind and God-given, ideas and thoughts into it. That's the magic, people. It's not sitting up here and using it like it's like a genie in the lamp. You know what I mean? If you let it prompt itself for you, you never know what you're going to get. But if you know what you want, you can get exactly what you're trying to get out of it.
Well, yeah. And also, brain rot was the word of the year, I guess, in 2024, according to the Oxford University Press. But the thing about it is that I think this idea of worshiping it like it's really so intelligent, like AI is Yoda or something.
Right.
That's the problem to me. It's just another tool.
Intelligence is intelligence. It's already out there. So it's the fact that it's giving you something you can get from yourself doesn't mean that it's better than you at all. It means it's programmed to work differently than you.
Well, my child, who doesn't love it when I talk about him on the radio, but my child, who's really good with technology, says it should have a different name because it's not really intelligence. It's just aggregating information.
So I'm saying it's the tool. We're confusing the term artificial intelligence with what the tool is giving you, which is, I guess, probably like synthetic intelligence, I guess.
It's not really intelligence. It's just, this is what my child is arguing, and now that I see this study, it makes sense. It's not really intelligence. It's aggregating all of this, your intelligence. It's aggregating it's really just a huge giant data set with a super fast engine that can sort it and make it usable.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. It's not meant to best be serving you as a like a chatbot. We're talking about a chatbot pretty much. You know what I'm saying? When I say there's so many different models of, this type of technology where I think, if we know how to program it and start focusing on that instead of just trying to get information out of it, start putting more information into it, then we start having a whole different conversation overnight.
Yeah, and over here they're saying that reading scores among 8th graders and high school seniors hit new lows. But for me, that's probably the pandemic. To say that's AI, I think is a stretch. It's, it could be, but it also could be COVID and the fact that they had to tolerate terrible teaching online. They had no social interaction. They were depressed, and they didn't get the kind of support they were supposed to get that they were promised.
Right, but and it's just the times as well. We're getting further and further away from it being a physical book-based society. So what are we basing that off of anyway?
Well, they're also saying though that some recent studies are showing a correlation between using AI and cognitive decline, meaning that we are getting dumber. It's funny though, because I shared this article with my son, and he sent me a hilarious graphic that it says simple answers to questions that get asked about every new technology. Basically, calling me old. That's fine. Will blank make us all geniuses? No, it's like a list of questions like this. Will blank make us all morons? No. Will blank destroy whole industries? Yes. Will blank make us less caring? No. I mean, it's pretty funny. But it is true, because that rewinds me all the way back to Y2K. I get what he's saying in that there is massive panic about every new wave of technology. Our phone's going to be the end of the world. Our computer's going to be the end of the world. Is the internet going to ruin everything? Does Google going to make us idiots? And on and on. And it is true that we tend to be a little hysterical about every new innovation.
I think this is different, though. I really do think that this is a little more powerful than a lot of the past technologies have been.
I mean, internet was game-changing. Like,
it was, and it is.
Life before internet compared to life now. And a lot of jobs did go away.
Right.
But a lot of new jobs came out of it.
Right. We got to go to break, Dominique.
You mean we got to come forward?
Let's come forward. We got to talk more about this.
News, traffic, and sports, and more, only right here.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Dozens of new laws go into effect this week, including a bathroom bill. It's the Texas Women's Privacy Act, which conservatives have been pushing for the last decade.
Worked on for about the last 8 years, so definitely a huge victory.
That's Mary Elizabeth Castle with Texas Values. She says the bill slaps limits on women's restrooms and locker rooms, restricting them based on biological sex. A Southside Chicago church is picking up the pieces after a Thanksgiving Day fire destroyed Renewal Life Church. No injuries were reported. Services moved to Fairfield Baptist this past Sunday as the pastor plans to rebuild. And many veterans, including Black veterans, face PTSD and barriers to care due to stigma and racial disparities. Advocates like Dr. Deandra Poe and James Harris, a veteran, stress culturally competent care and breaking mental health stigmas. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It was a rough night for both of LA's NBA teams. The Phoenix Suns snapped the Lakers' 7-game winning streak with a dominant 125-108 victory at Crypto.com. First loss for the Lakers since November 12th at OKC. Dylan the Villain Brooks led Phoenix with 33 points and a lot of trash talking for LeBron and Lakers fans. LeBron finished with only 10 points in 31 minutes. The Clippers lost at Miami 140-123, fifth straight loss for the Clippers, who are now 5-16. Former Clippers guard Norman Powell led Miami with 30 points. The Clippers trading Powell after last season makes no sense at all. They really could use him now. Powell is leading Miami in scoring with 25 a game. Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert has surgery Monday on his fractured left hand. The 8-4 Chargers are unsure if Herbert will be available for Monday night's game against Philadelphia at SoFi. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
JP Morgan Chase offers tips for the local business owners in 2025. Small business landscape is ever-changing, and the Los Angeles market is no exception. A startup or legacy business, revisiting your mission statement and recalibrating offerings can renew opportunities for growth and innovations. Programs like Chase for Business Coaching for Impact gives entrepreneurs access to expert guidance, helping you streamline operations, strategize your growth, and navigate complex challenges. Businesses with a clear sense of purpose can navigate any challenge effectively, but also build stronger customer loyalty. Visit chase.com/coaching for impact for more information. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, I'm really glad you're here. It is so true. I started in on this conversation about AI because once I read that New York Times article saying that it was going to give us brain rot, or that several studies show that it could give us brain rot, make us dumber, and decrease our reading cognitive skills, our reading comprehension skills. This started worrying me. I had a conversation with my child who basically said, "You're old and worrying about silly stuff." And I remember when Elon Musk used to say that he was concerned about AI. AI was going to be the end of the world, that, was going to get out of control and start running us, the whole robot overlords theory. And now he's claiming that it can help solve our economic problems because it's going to increase productivity so much that it will cause deflation and therefore it will help us get out of our national debt. But most of the experts in the economic field say just the opposite, that it's going to increase our inflation and it's going to cause our economic problems, our national debt, which is ginormous, to grow. To me, that's skirting around the actual issues, i.e. we should stop spending so much money on bombing countries, stop spending so much money on our military budget. That would bring our national debt way down. But anyway, I think it's interesting that he's made such a 180 on this, even though, and I assume it's because now he's, making money on it. But the other thing I wanted to point out while we're on this is that the AI has now apparently reached a point where it can duplicate itself. And again, it's sounding a little Y2K-ish to me, but this has been one of the things that folks say is could be a tipping point. If AI can just generate itself, why does it need us? And could this be where it could either unleash some terrible virus on humanity and kill us all, or find, some other way where AI bests humans and enslaves us or ends us with some move that it makes? That's what Musk used to talk about. Now he no longer talks about that. Now he's saying it'll solve our financial problems.
I love it, right? You gotta love when the money just starts oozing out their mouths, right? They take back all the stuff they were saying before as soon as the money starts coming in. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is that since we're using AI in weaponry now, thank you, Palantir. This article in Politico is really interesting. Almost all AI models show a preference to escalate conflicts aggressively, use firepower indiscriminately, and turn crises into shooting wars, even to the point of launching nuclear weapons. So something in the way they're built, programmed, or created makes them super aggro, which could definitely lead to the end of humankind. I mean,
that's what I'm saying, man. We need to. I get the panic of it, but I think that it's more important that we start learning how to use it, because we're seeing how these other people are programming and using it. We see the genocides that are going on. We're seeing bodies stacked up from satellites over pinpoint accuracy that they're getting, that they've cracked codes with using this intelligence. I'm not saying that it's going to be the end of the world or it's going to enslave us, but I'm saying look at the people who are using it and what's their history.
Yeah,
you know
that's the point. It's always the people. But the thing is, if it can replicate itself, and it already has a tendency to be aggro and escalate, and it's controlling now weaponry.
It's because it's programmed like that, though.
It's programmed like that. Who's going to unprogram it? If under this administration with the tech oligarchs, we are shifting towards AI-based defense, that could definitely be the end of the world. I mean, launch a few nuclear bombs and that's all she wrote. I mean, really, I don't mean to be doom and gloom on this Giving Tuesday, but you used to go down that rabbit hole. Here comes Fahima from D.C. Hi, Fahima. Speaking of talking points.
Abaragani and K-Pasa, Dominique. How are you doing today?
I'm blessed and highly favored. How are you?
I'm good. So I'm in between. I use AI primarily to read articles to me so I can multitask and do other things. But it is a cautionary tale. I think that we need to know how to use it and master it. I took a training a few months ago, and I sent you one of the clips that was in the presentation, The Dark Side of Chat GPT. And the thing is that there are people that have been having problems. There was a lawyer who was cited for using AI for a legal brief, and it put citations that didn't even exist.
Yeah, I saw that.
And, yes. And then even on an emotional level, there was a woman in Japan who actually married her AI persona.
I saw that ridiculous.
Well, you do have people that have mental health issues, and the training that I did looked at some of these guardrails, because there are people that do have mental health issues, and in fact, there was one case where what I believe was ChatGPT had told this kid to commit suicide. And so we have to be careful. We need to master it, but we also need to have safeguards. And one last thing, I never ask AI a question that I don't already know the answer to. And 9 times out of 10, it has given me things that was giving me incorrect information. So I would caution people not to rely on it and use primary resource information. I am not allowing AI to write anything for me, to write emails for me, to write articles or anything. I will use it only to read articles so I can do other things at the same time. But we do need to master it. Our kids need to know how to use the technology. And lastly, the super brain computer is what conceptualized these technologies, so it cannot be more superior than us.
Well, okay, a few things about that, Fahima, and I appreciate your input. I think you're right about asking a questions you know the answer to. A lot of people use it to write for them, write emails, papers, stuff for work. The thing is, you still got to check it. You got to fact check it. You got to make sure it said what you wanted it to say. You can't just send it out as is. But what I'm talking about is not our personal use. Of course, we have to, we'd probably be better off understanding it, using it. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the mass use, the use by our government, right? Where we're switching over to a lot of computer-generated defense systems, for example. And since these researchers have shown that AI has the tendency already, the way it's built now, which is what's being used now, to escalate conflicts, what do you do about that? It doesn't matter how much I or you or Miles knows about it. We're not in charge of the Defense Department. That would be one former Fox News host. I mean, just as an example. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about, we started out talking about brain rot. So to your point, you can't, I didn't know you could do this. If you Google search or DuckDuckGo search or whatever your search engine is, you can put -AI at the end of whatever it is, and it'll just give you the regular search without all the AI stuff at the top, which would save energy, because AI does use a lot of resources, energy resources, and get you out of the habit of relying on, to your point, Fahima, what is often just outright wrong information.
A lot of stuff is also paid. Some companies paid and put their information at the top of the search. But what I do is I go to primary resource information.
Yeah.
Look at Library of Congress, the National Archives.
Right. But most people aren't going to do all that. I mean, they're just not. I mean, I think if you're a journalist like you or like me, it's kind of our responsibility to do that. But most people aren't going to do that. That's why I just say -AI. At least you'll be able to see the source. You'll be able to see this is from the New York Times or, the San Francisco Chronicle or whatever it is. Anyway, thank you, Fahim. I appreciate the points. And, you're like Miles. You're an early adopter. I also think it's very interesting that, okay, here's that article I was talking about. This is from Popular Mechanics. It says that AI now has the ability to clone itself. And although they do say, don't worry, we're pretty far away from a robot apocalypse. And I tend to think so, because they're not that competent, as we've just been pointing out. But the fact that they have...
Oh, you said who's there not that confident? Who's there?
They're most of these chatbots. They're not that competent.
Compared to the people that are interacting with it, or compared to...
Well, we just use the example that a lot of the information they give you is wrong. So that means you're not that competent if what you're telling me is not correct.
If people believe it, who's really the dummy?
Well, both are the dummies, to be honest with you. So the reason I say it's not that competent, people say, robots are taking over the world, but my example that I use all the time, Siri can't find black sounding names in my phone. That's just one small example. Our robot overlords are just not as brilliant as people think they are.
I think that, we've we're looking at Twitter right now get exposed for how many bots are we're running the MAGA campaign, and people are sitting here spending their entire day arguing with the bot. Maybe the bot isn't as super intelligent as Miles and Dominique and Tavis, but if it's as intelligent as the people who are going to sit there and argue with it,
well, I'm sure it's probably I'm not saying it's not as intelligent as me. I didn't say that. I don't think it's intelligent. I think it's an aggregate. I do agree with my child about this. It's just pulling from a lot more information than I can fit in my brain. The question isn't intelligent. I said competent, which is different. Competent. Can you do a thing? Yeah, you got all the information in the world, literally. Almost. But if you can't find a black sounding name, or you can't tell me, about Tupac's backstory accurately, then you're not competent. You might be intelligent, but you're not competent because you're not doing a thing correctly, which is, to me, the definition of competence. Can you do a thing well? Can you do it correctly?
But if you trained it on Tupac's life, if you fed it a Tupac documentary, then quiz it on the Tupac documentary, it'll give you everything you want.
Assuming that Tupac documentary was accurate, yes.
Exactly. If you gave it what you wanted it to quiz it on, it'd be great at it.
Right.
But we're comparing that to something that's trained 100% on trolling people online, and it hit it out the park. It had everybody trolling with bots online. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And there's a couple people in here. Jerry Anderson agrees that, which what we said, garbage in, garbage out. Train your AI carefully and it'll give you good results. Kav Haynes wants to know, are there any whistleblowers for AI? That yes, there are detractors in the investment community, he says, but are there whistleblowers? Well, I don't think that there is a body that is powerful that has any kind of veto power. Yes, there's different commissions and this and this and that, but as far as global oversight of AI, no.
Some things you can't put the genie back in the bottle all the time. You can't put Pandora's box back together.
But no, you can't put the genie back in the bottle, but you can give the genie some rules, and that's what we need to do. And like usual, the technology is ahead of the law. The technology is ahead of the law, and that's not a good thing.
It goes to show, too, they don't know. That's what I'm trying to say. Well, they don't really know how to use it either on the other side. They're figuring it out little by little and you know what I mean, and putting on like markets on how like that's the American way. Sell before you even know what you got here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
If people will buy it, sell it.
They'll buy it, sell it.
But
We'll
so
figure it out
far,
later.
all of these studies are showing that so far AI has not boosted productivity hardly at all, and that it can clone itself. It can clone software. So the implications of that are far-reaching. And however, back to the question of competence, it can clone itself, but what will it clone? How would it do it? I don't know. I always say, why can't we just unplug the battery? At the bottom line, like Paul says in the chat, we're not even talking about the environmental impact. Well, yeah, I did. One of the reasons I put -AI when I do Google searches now is because why waste a whole bunch of energy on something that I can just as well accomplish without AI?
I agree, and that's a you preference, and I get that. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not just a me preference; it's a do you want a planet preference.
It's ethical, but not everybody got the same type of ethics.
800-920-1580. This is the talking point. AI is going to take. There's so many of them. AI is going to take all our jobs. AI is the end of the world. AI is a god. AI is going to fix everything. AI is going to make everything possible. And I think all of those on the plus side and the minus side are problematic and probably not accurate. What do you think? 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DePrima. That's Miles Lowe. And this is KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Looking for a purposeful and passionate way to make a difference in your community? Volunteer with our Senior Medicare Patrol and help prevent Medicare fraud. SMP volunteers work in their community educating peers about healthcare fraud and how to prevent and detect it. Free training starts soon. Check us out online or at an SMP open house near you. We're on a mission to stop fraud. Join our team. You make a difference. Visit caspvolunteer.org. Unwrap LA this winter with Metro. Whether you're heading to a family gathering or last-minute shopping, Metro's got you. Enjoy free rides across Metro on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. Move with joy. Move with community this holiday season. Go Metro.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth. Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
Okay, so we're down the rabbit hole. We might as well stay there now. about this idea of AI cloning itself, the Popular Mechanics article makes a really good point, which is that we are far away from what they call artificial general intelligence, which would mean like human intelligence, where it could actually think. So to your point and my son's point, it's really just a giant chatbot that's putting together all of this information and is able to do so in a very sophisticated and rapid manner while sucking up lots of energy.
Right. Well, I think that we're getting to the point where it can start doing, human-like things like reasoning. You know what I mean? We're seeing spatial intelligence.
Apparently not. It says we're far from even understanding our own minds, let alone replicating it.
Okay. All right.
I mean, that's what Popular Mechanics says. They're just sucking up and recombining shreds of human written language.
Right, and I okay, all right. I beg to differ. I do think that the science behind the technology is getting more diverse as we put more and more into it. I think that it may be a little bit away from stuff like the reasoning, but I do think that it's becoming more and more diverse, and eventually it'll get to be somewhere where it just has a reasoning.
It could
it's already
be
doing a deep thinking type of model.
It could be, but what it's saying is that it's not human intelligence, and that's what I've come to believe. It recycles human intelligence, it repurposes it, it restructures it, but it can't reason. It can spit back to you like these. That's how these people, I guess, get sucked into thinking they're in a relationship with a bot, like that lady married her AI avatar. But as this article points out, if enough people say that pizza needs glue, then that's what AI will spit back out. And that's what they call hallucinations. They're like parrots. Anyway, that's one thing. The other thing that I think is really interesting is that in Britain, their answer to AI taking jobs is that young people are going back into trades, welding, carpentry, things that they do not think AI can compete with them on. I don't know, maybe robots can do welding, but they're saying that there's a huge jump in construction courses and what we would think of as blue collar work, because white collar jobs are seen as being the most vulnerable to AI. So, I mean, those are two approaches, right? You go in, lean in, learn as much as you can about it, knowing that some people are going to get really rich off of this, or you take that other road and say, I'm going to do something it can't do, or we think it can't do. I'm going to fix cars.
Phil, Dominique, are you afraid? Are you encouraged? Are you excited?
I don't stay afraid. I live my life. I'm way more afraid of this administration than AI, and especially the combination of this administration and AI when it comes to the war machine. But I don't live my life in fear. That's no way to live.
Me neither. I feel like early on, we've been talking about this for a few years, me and you, Dominique, and I think early on, I myself had a lot of panic about it, and I was on it real early, so real early adoption really got to me. But yeah, the further we get away from there, I think that I'm encouraged by it. I think that it is going to be something we can benefit off of. And yeah,
even with what you know about Palantir, even with what you know about the military shifting these billions of dollars into creating warfare that's run by bots, by AI, when we already know the AI. See, that's the thing. It's not, it's going to take my job. I'll find another job. Right. You know what I mean? I'll reinvent myself. I'm a human. I actually have intelligence.
Right.
I have creative power. You have the power to recycle and steal my stuff. God channels through me, and you can't compete with that. But what am I going to do when the AI, says bomb LA, it's full of woke people? We're going to get bombed. That's what's going to happen. I mean, it's a terrible example, but it's a oversimplified example, but that's where we are with this Palantir level militarization, the computerization of our military industrial complex.
Sure, and I think that now, since it's Giving Tuesday, I think now is a good time to do our deep research and figure out which of our community members have these companies that are gonna, aid us in the future. Who's gonna help us on the farming tip? Who's helping us on our machinery? Who's helping us on our health tip? Which doctors are we able to help? Because this technology is also boosting us that direction as well.
Yeah, it's also a great time to support organizations that get out the vote, fight white supremacy, and help get rid of the administration that we currently have. Because to your point, Miles, a lot of it is who's in control of that tool. And right now, it's a whole problem who's in control of it. And so, you're right to bring it back to Giving Tuesday. What are we giving to? Are we giving to cyber literacy organizations, to liberation organizations, to education groups? All of these are the folks, to farmers. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe AI can farm. It probably already is in big agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't mean you can't grow collard greens in your backyard.
We go. Get your micro farm going. Ask ChatGPT how to help you get a micro farm going. See what you do and try that. Let's see how you feel about AI.
Or ask your neighbor who's good at farming. How about that?
Oh, now collab. Come on now. Now we working together.
All right. We're going to hear from the organization Patriotic Millionaires. Looking forward to this conversation. That's next on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Dozens of new laws go into effect this week, including a bathroom bill. It's the Texas Women's Privacy Act, which conservatives have been pushing for the last decade.
Worked on for about the last 8 years, so definitely a huge victory.
That's Mary Elizabeth Castle with Texas Values. She says the bill slaps limits on women's restrooms and locker rooms, restricting them based on biological sex. A Southside Chicago church is picking up the pieces after a Thanksgiving Day fire destroyed Renewal Life Church. No injuries were reported. Services moved to Fairfield Baptist this past Sunday as the pastor plans to rebuild. And many veterans, including Black veterans, face PTSD and barriers to care due to stigma and racial disparities. Advocates like Dr. Deandra Poe and James Harris, a veteran, stress culturally competent care and breaking mental health stigmas. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877